Everyone else is done the area.
Oh yeah, I'm from South East London.
Okay, so everybody's from South. Awesome, lovely. Okay, so we're gonna go into an icebreaker game. So just to confirm, guys, just in case you guys missed it, Baz is a pharmacist. Shakira is a pre-reg pharmacist. See, guys, I'm getting it.
Yeah.
And no.
Sounds hard.
Hi guys, sorry, I'm being told there's some technical difficulties, so apologies. I'm just going to introduce everybody again and then we're going to get into the icebreaker. So again, we'll start from my far left. This is Baz.
Oh yeah, my name's Baz and I'm a pharmacist currently working in a hospital.
Hi, my name's Shakira. I'm currently doing my pre-reg year in the community pharmacy.
And I'm Osariemen. I'm a third year pharmacy student.
Lovely. And how old are you guys as well?
25.
25.
I'm 25 as well.
21.
21 and I'm 25 as well. Okay, cool. So let's go into a quick icebreaker. So we're gonna play a game called Would You Rather. Okay? So Shakira.
Okay.
Would you rather lose the ability to read or lose the ability to speak?
I'd probably say speak because...
Would you?
Yeah, because if you can still read, you'll still be knowledgeable. You can always write down and stuff and like stuff
True.
like that.
Very
so
true.
I would probably say that.
Fairs, okay. Osariemen, would you rather be in jail for a year or lose a year off your life? That is a terrible question. Even me, I don't know. Jail for a year because it's the same thing.
Literally,
I'll still
probably
losing
lose a year of my life.
Really?
Yeah, because if I die at 80, 79, it's okay.
What if you're meant to die when you're 30?
29, nearly there.
Jeez, okay. Okay, Baz, would you rather always be 10 minutes late or always be 20 minutes early?
I'm always late anyway. So.
I
know it's bad. I know. I'd rather be 20 minutes early.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lovely. Osariemen, would you rather have one real get out of jail free card or a key that opens any door?
Wait, repeat that?
Would you rather have one real get out of jail free card, say you've done something bad and you got arrested, so you'd have a card to get out of jail free, or a key that opens any door?
A key that opens any door.
No, that's scary. Obviously, I wouldn't want that.
What? I would want that.
So you just go around
you just open the doors and see what's behind
That's
it.
I
scary.
can open the door to like the vault and get loads of money.
But what if you open the door to like, I don't know, yeah, something
What,
like
like-
that.
You'll take the risk.
And now,
You got
because
to-
you've seen it, you're now responsible for it and you didn't tell the police and you get arrested.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I'll just give them the key. I'll give them the key and just be like, this is the key that allows me to open the room.
Okay, fair enough. Shakira, would you rather be married to a 10 with a bad personality or a 6 with an amazing personality? This is an intense question.
I would say a 6 with an amazing personality because if you're bad vibes, so
Exactly.
honestly, pharmacy, you don't need any bad vibes. So 6 weeks.
Okay, I like that answer. Baz, would you rather be able to talk to land animals, animals that fly, or animals that live under the water?
That is a tough question.
Is it?
Yeah.
Are you an animal lover?
Yeah, I do love animals.
Do you? So
Yeah,
you
but I'm
and
not
Leo
crazy
get
for
on
them,
really
but-
well. Yeah. You and Leo
But-
get on really well.
I don't know. Wait, what are the options?
So it's land animals,
Yeah.
animals that fly, or animals that live underwater.
This is so tough for me. I'm really trying to analyse like what would be the best. I'm gonna go with animals underwater.
Why?
Oh.
I don't know. I can't tell
I
you
thought
what.
you were going to fly.
I thought you'd
But
say
the
land
only thing
animals.
is, if I can talk to ones that fly, like, will they let me fly with them? Depending on if they're big enough for me to fly with.
Yeah, but then how are you going to be underwater talking to the animals?
Yeah, that is true. I can't
You know,
breathe.
it's too late.
underwater.
Yeah,
I'll change it.
you can't change your answer.
Land animals.
Okay, cool. Shakira, would you rather have all traffic lights you approach be green or never have to stand in any line ever again? Are you a driver? I don't know if you drive.
Yeah, drive. I mean,
Think about when
probably.
lockdown is lifted. You
Yeah, I don't want to queue up. Yeah, let me
for the line one.
go through because I always do pushing anyways.
That's really bad.
Yes, but I'm not trying to stand outside.
Okay, cool. Osariemen, would you rather be able to see 10 minutes into your own future or 10 minutes into the future of anyone but yourself?
Probably someone else. Because it's like, if you could see...
You nosy girl.
No, because like, imagine you could see like your own future. Would I be able to control like the outcome then? Like change the outcome? Was like already like determined? Because if it's
You
determined,
see
then
it
it's like...
and then that's it. You can't do nothing.
Like,
It's
yeah.
true actually. If it's something bad, you'll know, then you'll just be upset in that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but do you want the
Yeah,
responsibility of knowing someone else's future? Especially if it was bad.
It's okay.
It's okay.
I don't mind.
Okay, and last question, Baz. Would you rather be the first person to explore a planet or be the inventor of a drug that cures a deadly disease? As a pharmacist.
I know, as a pharmacist I should pick the second one, but really I want to pick the first one.
Why though?
A new planet.
Yeah.
That's fun.
That is crazy.
What would you go yourself though? Just really.
I don't mind.
I'd have to go someone.
Yeah, I would want to go with someone. It would be
Yeah,
more
same.
lit with someone else, but yeah.
Same.
I would
Okay.
not go back.
Awesome. Okay, lovely. So let's get into it. We're just gonna go around again. I want all of you guys to explain exactly what you do. So, Shakira told me that she's in pre-reg. I don't know what that is. So I'm guessing a lot of other viewers don't know what that is either. So Shakira, you can start.
Yeah.
What is pre-reg? What I think it is, let me just explain. Pre-reg, it sounds like pre-registration for like, you know when you sign up for like second year of uni or something. That's what pre-reg sounds like to me. So what is pre-reg?
Okay, so pre-reg is a year after you qualify. So you do a 4-year pharm course. So it's
Pharma course. did you say?
4-year masters.
Okay.
So the masters included So you do that, and then before you used to just like by yourself go and like look for where you want to work and apply and have like face-to-face interviews. But they did a thing where it's oral. Now, because I didn't do oral, I don't have all the answers that I should. But you do an oral thing where you apply for it in your end of third year, and then you do it around September. It's like calculations, little mini interviews and situational judgment tests, I think. And based on your results from there, you get your rank. So you rank where you want to work, so hospital, community, GP, industry. And then after that, so by November you should know where you're going to work for your pre-reg. You do that for a year, and you have to do like loads of different evidences. Your tutor has to sign you off. So you have a tutor. It could be like someone outside of the pharmacy, or it could be like someone that actually works in the pharmacy.
Okay.
So they sign you off at week 13, 26,
So they
39,
monitor everything
and
you do
52.
basically.
Yeah.
If you're off, they monitor that, they'll note you down as you've been off.
Exactly.
That
So
kind of
they'll know any sicknesses, holidays, change of circumstances. If you had to change tutor, like for example, I got my pre-reg at Campsons. I'm doing mine at Campsons in Crystal Palace. There's like 25 other students doing it in different branches. And so luckily I got mine because I did my work experience there, and they got
they liked
the
you,
job.
so they
That's always the best way.
Thank God, because I don't know how I would have done the oral. But so you do that, get a tutor. My tutor actually went to the surgery that we're connected to, so she's a GP pharmacist, and luckily I've got a new tutor, so you have to fill out another change of tutor form and stuff.
Okay.
But it's quite good. I do 9 to 6, Monday to Friday. We get training days every month, so we'll meet up with all the other students and stuff.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, it's quite good. And so it's really interesting. The only thing is, I would say it's really hard because you have to consolidate like everything from uni, what you learn in practice, and then you have to like expected to study that after the 9 to 6, and it's like,
Really?
yeah, because weekends you're gonna want to live your life.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So
when you get home, you actually have to study more.
yeah,
That's
whether
good.
I've started now, but it's quite hard. Like you have to be determined. Like you have to see it as this is your final year. You've worked so long,
And you have to love what you're doing then as well.
Exactly.
To now come home and study.
Yeah, because everyone like was scaring me like, oh, community's going to be so hard. Community's this, that. But it's really interesting. Like I feel like the pharmacists in community, like they're on their own. They don't have no one to really run to. So like you're the person that people are running to, so you need to know
Is that
yourself.
true, Beth?
Yeah, in hospital you have like
Yeah.
more support because there's you've got a whole pharmacy department. You're working with loads of other people. There's so many people I can call if I've got a query that I'm not too sure what to do about.
Yeah.
There's someone who's probably experienced it or who's more senior than me that I can just call on or go and talk to. Like literally, they're right there.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay, lovely. Thank you for that. So, Baz, tell us a little bit about what you do, how long you've been doing it for.
Okay, so I'm a qualified pharmacist, and it'll be 3 years in August, and I've worked in hospital like the whole time. So yeah, at the moment it's like rotational. So at the moment I'm working in critical care, so ICU, like high dependency unit, so intensive care units.
Is there like a lot of COVID patients though?
Yeah, it's like now we're starting to actually get better, but it was like literally just COVID patients, like very intense, very busy, but I really enjoy it. It's like really, really interesting.
So how did you get into it? How did you know that you wanted to be a pharmacist?
Do you know what? I didn't originally. I kind of just fell into it, but as I started my degree, I just really, really enjoyed it. I just love all the different parts of it. Like there's a lot of problem solving. There's a lot of, reading and then trying to come up with an answer. Like I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And you do have to, a lot of people say they don't really use their degree, but you actually have to use your degree every single day. And you're learning new things every single day. That's what I love the most about it.
Yeah.
You're learning something new every
So
day.
you learn on the job, you're learning as you go.
Absolutely. All the time, like constantly.
Yeah.
And you're always developing yourself. Like your 2 days aren't the same, even if you're doing the same thing, because you might approach it differently. And that makes it interesting as well.
So does that make you kind of look forward to going to work because you know that, okay, today's not going to be the same as yesterday? You have something to
Yeah,
look
that definitely
forward
helps. Obviously, sometimes, I have to be honest about the job. Like, sometimes it is really hard. And it can be quite taxing, especially working in a hospital where, you know, patients are really unwell. There's a lot of like, especially in intensive care, like it can be very emotional. There are a lot of really sad like cases that you come across. But yeah, the fact that I'm going to learn something new, I'm going to develop myself, like that definitely gets me going for work. Like absolutely.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And last but not least, Osariemen, tell everybody what you do as well. You're our student. How long have you been studying for?
So
why did you decide to kind of study that as well?
So I'm in my 3rd year, and why did I study pharmacy? Like that, it was not my original option.
So what was your original option?
So originally I was going to do medicine, and then I didn't get in because of my grades. that one grade, it still hurts.
Yeah.
But yeah, question.
It's
You know
fine.
when you say medicine, what would you kind of get from that? Wouldn't you go on to do like pharmacy stuff anyway?
No, because
I might be way off.
you do medicine and you become a doctor essentially.
Yeah.
Okay. Got
So you do medicine, become a doctor, do pharmacy, become a pharmacist.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then, like, in the 1st year, I was like, oh, this is quite interesting. And the thing is, because I wanted to always go into, like, a certain field, I always saw, like, being a doctor the only way, like,
Yeah.
if you do anything else, you're not good. Like, you're just basically like a slave. Like, everything, doctor's, like, important. But then I started understanding more about, like, the structure of the multidisciplinary team and like how everyone works together. So I was like, okay, pharmacy's not too bad, and now I love it. So
I'm glad.
Regarding the degree, so I'm in my 3rd year, definitely the hardest year of
How
pharmacy.
many years are you studying for?
4 years, and then I go to do pre-reg, and then hopefully.
I love that. So there's 3 stages
Yeah.
of becoming a pharmacist.
Yeah, pharmacy degree is interesting. I feel like there's so many things you do. So like there'll be areas you don't like. For me, I don't really enjoy pharmaceutics. But like pharmacology.
Question: What is pharmaceutics?
So correct me if I'm wrong, but I think pharmacy is like the development of drugs and stuff, right?
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah, like how it's developed.
Pharmaceutics.
That's that's not really my thing. I don't really enjoy
It
it.
can get quite boring.
Yeah, like I don't want to know about powders and emulsions.
Yeah, it's like how you make a drug, like literally everything. Like how you make a suppository,
really
how.
fun. So that's like science.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
sciencey.
But it's just like, and a lot of it's factual rather than like application. I think with me, I enjoy like applying something I know. So like, let's say I've learned about like cardiovascular and I've been given a case
So
study.
cardiovascular is like heart,
Yeah.
cardio, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, let's say I've got a scenario about like a patient with these different complications of their heart. Like, I enjoy doing that. Like, applied all the information I know from like heart failure, tachycardia, all different things. But like with pharmaceutics, it's just like, this is how the drug is made. Learn it. Like, there's nothing more to it.
Yeah.
But so there's like different stages as you go through the years. With my university, it's like spiral learning. So you apply what you've learned in 1st year, 2nd year, 3rd year, and so on.
Yeah.
Obviously to consolidate, because when you get to pre-reg, the exam is on everything and anything. So it's better to like learn as you go along and consolidate information. It's hard work but rewarding. Like when I listen to Baz, like seeing where I could be in a few years, it pushes me to like want to like finish the degree and finish it well and just keep on going till I get to that stage. So yeah.
See, you want inspiration? You want inspiration. So another question for you: how do you stay motivated to kind of carry on and finish your degree? Because
It's long. Because you've got
4 years.
4 years plus pre-reg, like it's actually long.
pre-reg is how many years?
It's 1
1
year.
year. So
altogether,
5
you're
years.
actually studying 5 years.
Yeah, but they're not really, because like when you qualify, you still study.
Yeah, I'm still
It's
studying now.
non-stop.
I'm
In
never
fact,
stop studying.
Osariemen still studies now.
Yeah, you're never gonna stop.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you don't enjoy
think
studying,
it's
Yeah, if you don't enjoy studying, don't do pharmacy.
Yeah, I could never do it.
stay motivated. I think it's definitely been harder with the pandemic. But
What are your classes like now? Sorry, answer that first.
Yeah, I'll go into that. So it's definitely been hard with the pandemic, with everything being online. Like,
I
as
can't
in,
even imagine.
you wake up 9 a.m. online, class online.
Did they make you put your camera on as well?
Oh,
Did they want
no.
to see your face?
I know some schools of pharmacies, like, some classes you have to turn it on, but in my one, it's like, no one turns it on, no one speaks. The lecturer's like, can you hear me? Everyone's silent. No, everyone's silent and they don't speak, so it's like, okay. So I'm the one like, yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah,
It always has to be
Yeah, because I know no one else is going to do it, so like, and I know everyone quite well in my pharmacy school, even though it's quite big, but I still know like everyone.
So you know your classmates that are online and stuff?
Yeah, like we're in 3rd year, like,
Okay, yeah.
if you don't know, I don't know where you've
Have
been.
there been a lot of dropouts from 1st year to 3rd year?
I wouldn't say dropouts, I would say people that had to change their path, of course, due to...
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it.
But I think with my school, first year definitely, like, people did struggle. I think it depends when you come into university as well, in general, because I came straight from sixth form or college, but some people take time out and then they go in. Some people have done another degree and then come in. So it depends on where you're coming from. I think because I came in straight away from sixth form, I had all the, like, biology was so in my mind. Now I don't remember half of it, but at the time, all that biology, chemistry was so, like, in my mind. So first year is, like, your consolidation year, I would say, with my school of pharmacy. So, like, to, like, remember everything and get everyone on the same, like, level playing field. And I think some people, they obviously didn't anticipate the amount of work and what we'll be doing, so they've, like, changed courses but I wouldn't call it dropouts. I don't think people intentionally would drop out of pharmacy.
I
don't think anybody would. Like, it's just one of those degrees, like, when you pick it, I think you're certain, like, you want to be a pharmacist. So if you change doing to another course or change profession, it's probably because of different circumstances, or maybe you just don't enjoy it. I know some people change from pharmacy to pharmacology.
What's pharmacology?
That's like the study of pharmacology.
It's basically the same thing, but you're just not patient facing, so you won't be able to, like, speak to patients about their medicine.
Yeah, it's like the action of the drug in the body. It's a lot more sciencey.
I know some people didn't. They changed because they were scared of, like, patient responsibility.
That's what some people off.
They're, like, scared of, like the idea that if I mess up,
that person's life is in my hands, kind of.
Yeah, because obviously in healthcare, like, everyone works together. But the pharmacist's job is, like, the drug. So let's say you gave, like, I don't know, like, a mad dose of morphine, for example. Yeah. And now you've killed the patient.
And so, like, do you feel like that sometimes?
No, I think I've when I first started, like, my first year just after qualifying, I definitely was nervous about it. Like, you do think, like, oh my God, everything I do is, like, so, but then you just get used to it. And I think you develop your skills and your confidence. And the thing is, you have to be confident. Right. Like, if someone's life is in your hands, you actually do have to be confident in what you're doing. You can't, dilly-dally. So.
Because I've killed 2 patients. Not in real life.
Oh my God, I was like...
In my third year, because I retook my third year.
An Oski?
Yeah.
We could have, like, a killer point. Like,
yeah, because you can know everything, you can study everything, but when you get there, it's just so nerve-wracking. Like, you don't know what they're going to ask you, who the lecturer is.
But you have supervisors and mentors, so it's not...
I mean, you're really, like... It's just, like, silly mistakes, like, if you don't hear properly, like, I think one of the mistakes was the woman was having a hypo. Should you give the insulin?
What's a hypo?
So hypo.
So you have to break these things down.
So, like, it's for people that have diabetes and low blood glucose. Okay. And basically, I did something that would cause harm to a patient because I didn't hear correctly. So I got 0. Then I was able to retake. And I gave enoxaparin.
So what is that then?
Prophylactic dose. That's like VT prophylaxis.
These terms are a bit mad.
Even so, like, when you're gonna have to explain that one.
I'm still learning.
So when you're in hospital, you're supposed to be on some sort of prophylaxis to
like
avoid
preventative mechanism.
Look at you, knowing your stuff.
To avoid blood clots and from embolism. So I read it wrong because I was nervous, and I gave a low dose. It didn't kill the patient, but it wasn't enough.
But it wasn't a real patient, was it?
No, these are. You have to act like patients.
Oski's like, I don't know if it was this for you guys, but it's like pass-fail, like.
Pass-fail.
Which, I mean, it should be that way, really and truly. Like, if you're
going to be
like, it's like,
I just be
on it, like,
it's
I killed 2 people, and I had to retake the year. So
figure of speech.
Yeah, figure of speech. Sorry. But yeah, so it's like I feel like pharmacy is good. It's good.
Awesome. Okay, so I've got a set of questions that some people have asked, so I'm just going to go ahead and ask, and all of you can either answer or a couple of you can answer. So, I'm going to ask you because you're the pharmacist. How do you see pharmacy changing in years to come?
Oh, that's a really good question.
And how do you think it's actually evolved?
I think it's massively evolved from, I mean, obviously I've only been in it for 3 years, but from what we're told, pharmacy's massively changed from sort of like, the pharmacist being behind the, in the pharmacy and just handing out medication. Like, we're much more involved in patient care now. Yeah. The role, I think, has developed quite a bit more clinically, and we're just a lot more involved in the patient and the care that we're giving, I think, now. And I think
that more.
As in, like, actually involved in like directly involved in treatment, and and giving advice and that kind of stuff.
How was it before then?
Pharmacists just weren't as involved.
Yeah, it was kind of like doctor.
Yeah,
So you just give them the medicine basically.
Yeah.
And now you're actually
way more involved, and I think that's the way it's going. And I mean, now I know they want to add prescribing into the degree now, so pharmacists will actually qualify as prescribers, which is a good idea, I think. So I think it's just going to go that way. We're just going to become way more integrated into the team.
Yeah, and I think it's helpful for the NHS because like you'll be waiting months for appointments, and you can just literally go to a pharmacist, and we know basically everything. So, well, not everything, but we know most things. We know most things. So but I think, we're sorry to cut you. I feel like with the whole pandemic and everything, like there's a lot more like pharmacists that work from home. Like they'll do like, for example, I think it's Echo Pharmacy, where you just place your prescription order online, and like the pharmacist will check it like from home or from like wherever they're working. So they don't really need to be in person, but they're still doing what they've got to do.
Okay, awesome. And Osariemen, a question for you. What is the importance, do you think, for maybe someone that's considering studying pharmacy or medicine? What do you think is the importance of a young person, you're 21 years old, to actually go into the field and pursue that thing?
I think the first thing would be like, why do you want to do it? Because it is long, and like, even though it's like a 4-year degree, that 1 year, like knowing I have another year and everyone else is graduating after 3 years, to me just feels like a lifetime. And then like you still got pre-reg, so in total I think doctors is like 7 years or 8 years depending on if you do a 5 or 6 year degree, and then like pharmacy is 5 years. So are you willing to be in school for 5 years? And then it doesn't actually stop, like you have to keep on going. You've got to want to enjoy healthcare.
And all that.
That's what it's all about. And be patient centered, because if you don't care about the patient,
don't do it.
Don't do it. You can go into like healthcare related stuff, so you probably something like pharmacology because you just work with the medicines. But if you don't actually want to interact with patients, it wouldn't make any sense, because whatever setting you're in, if it be GP, community, hospital, you're speaking to people. And don't go just for the money. The money will come, but don't go for the money. The money will come, but it's like you've got like 5 years to wait for that money. So if you're like, oh, I'm gonna come into pharmacy, I'm making like 40 plus. After 5 years,
community. Community's well paid.
So even sometimes it takes time. So you're thinking like, oh, I'm gonna graduate, see this big salary. You graduate, you're seeing like 20 something. You're like, oh, where's the money? So money shouldn't be an intent. I think money's an encouragement, definitely, when you feel low and you're like, I don't want to do this anymore, I'm tired. But it shouldn't be your incentive for going for it. Because you'll burn out.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Thank you. No, that's a really good answer. So I've got another question. Do you think it's important for people to be compassionate in terms of like being a pharmacist? Because again, people's lives are actually in your hands. So I love the thing you said about the money, but then again, people's lives are in your hands. So what do you think is the importance of actually wanting to care for people?
There are times when, especially working in a hospital, as I said, like it can be really taxing, you're tired, like, it's been a long day, you've dealt with so many different things, and then, maybe there's a patient who really, really wants to go home, and, as a pharmacist, we're the ones who go through the discharge letter, go through the medication, authorise it, and then it gets dispensed, and things like that. A patient just really wants to go home, we've got loads of things to do, having that compassion to say, you know what, I've got loads of other things to do, but I'm going to prioritise that, or just make sure this patient can go home as fast as they can. Like oftentimes you do have to kind of go out of your way for the patient, like that's just like a daily thing. And if you don't have that compassion, then what are you doing?
You're just going to get frustrated.
You're going to get frustrated, and also there's someone, because I always just think, like when I work in a hospital, I just think, everyone here, like all the patients are sicker than I am. Like they're unwell, like they're in a position where they need my help. If I didn't think that way, I don't think I'd be very good at my job. I just think you just wouldn't be good at it because you just obviously don't care enough.
Love them.
And I'll say as well, like something my sister always says, because she works in healthcare as well, she's always like, think if that was your family member, like you said, it's someone's life. It's not it's not a toy, like it's actually a real life person. And if that was your family member, would you want the same quality of care? Because like when you're pharmacists, other pharmacists, so if that's the way you behave and you don't really care for the patient, imagine someone else that's even worse than you. So it's like, would you want them looking after your family if they happen to be in that situation? So I think that's a good incentive. Yeah.
You mentioned your sister's in healthcare as well. Do you have anyone else in your family, or do any of you guys have anybody else in your family that works in healthcare?
I have a lot of nurses.
Yeah, actually.
Do you?
A lot of nurses, but no pharmacists.
I have one pharmacist.
No.
I'll be the only pharmacist. So,
Mm-hmm.
but my aunt's a nurse in St. George's actually.
Okay, nice. Okay. So moving to the next question. It says, what do you think about the typical stereotype of being a pharmacist? Guys, you can answer this. Well, in fact, all of you.
So many.
I heard that
Yeah.
so all of you guys
Yeah.
can answer. But we'll start from Baz.
Well, as I said, the one where it's just like, you know, a chemist, like just standing in the back, just, oh, why does it take, those of my friends ask me, like, why does it take so long for me to get my medication? I'm like, there's so many things happening back there, like, you don't know. We're not just sticking labels on boxes, that kind of thing. What else? The pharmacists are kind of like, I don't know, really like geeky and don't like, do you know what I mean? Like, don't have any other kind of interest or personality. That's something that, you know, people can, I think when you think of a pharmacist, you just think sometimes of just like an old white man. I think sometimes, like, you know, you don't see that many, well, nowadays there's more black pharmacists, but I do think like, or an old Asian man, like, you don't, there's just like a stereotype of that as well. So yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Anything else?
Just the same, really. I think community, like, they literally think, like, they just attack us for no reason, and we're trying our best. Like,
wait, hold on. And you say we're attacking. So you've experienced it.
Yeah, so
Okay,
like, because I'm like a
scenario.
community, so for example, they'll put in a request. We usually say it's 48 to 72 hours, which is correct. But sometimes the GP won't sign off on time. They might not see the request and stuff. So they'll come at us and say, why didn't we send the request? And it's like, well,
We did
this
send
is
it,
part of
but
our job. Like, we have to do it. And we always go out of our way, like, because I work next to a surgery, so I'm always running like to the surgery. Can you sign this off for them? Like, they've waited for a long time. They'll show like abuse. Like, I've had patients say they're gonna kill themselves if they don't get their medicine. Like, it's quite scary to the point it's like, oh, like, I need to be on top of this.
Okay, so I've got a question on the end of that one. How do you mentally, and Baz as well, because you're actually in it and you can answer as well, how do you mentally deal with that stuff? Again, you've got someone saying, okay, if you don't give me my meds, I'm going to jump off a cliff or whatever. And to be honest, some people, they do actually do that stuff. So how do you mentally keep yourself stable and balanced dealing with that stuff? I know maybe sometimes you're just like, whatever, but how do you actually keep yourself grounded with that stuff? Because that is a bit nuts.
Me, I don't know, like, I feel like I'm quite compassionate anyway, so I just know that in this job, like, there's ill patients, there's people that are going to die, like, you just have to kind of be on job and not dwell on it, because then if you do, you're not going to perform as well for the next patient. So you just have to, like, kind of put that behind you. But you need to be strong.
Yeah, you do. You need to be strong.
You need to be strong. But it is hard.
Yeah, no, it is hard because sometimes, like, you know, especially I think patients get quite impatient. Obviously, they're having to wait a long time for their medicines, which we understand. But obviously, there's a process that we have to follow. And you definitely do get people shouting, like, "Why is it taking so long?" Like, being really abusive, swearing at you, and sometimes you just want to. You really want to swing back at them, like, don't talk to you, like, you want to, but you can't. You have to be professional. Yeah, you have to be so professional, and you just kind of have to take a step back. And as you say, like, kind of just understand that, you know, if you were in their shoes, you can understand. You have to just try and find a way to understand.
But thinking about those times that I've been mean to the
Say,
pharmacist up the road.
but I was a lot younger.
Can I just have my asthma pump, please?
And do you know it's as well, like, especially with community, they're under so much, like, pressure. Like, people think it's like, maybe like 10 patients. Like,
can you describe the difference for me? So there's community and there's
hospital
and
there's
others, GP, industry.
There's many. Okay. But most people, the main three are like industry, community, and hospital that people know of.
Is community like a local pharmacy up the road?
Yeah, like a Lloyd's or a Boots.
Okay,
you walk into, you get your medicine. And the hospital is more like working with inpatients, right?
Yeah.
And the industry's working the industry, making...
So it's like, if you go to hospital, so you'll go there, it's like, what, secondary care?
Yeah.
And then primary care is like GPs and community pharmacists. So we'll maintain, like, if you're in a long-term condition, we'll be maintaining your regular repeats and stuff. And just making sure that you'll take your medicines. If they're on a new medicine, we need to counsel them, like, any side effects, any this, like, how you doing with your medicine.
How many items does your pharmacy get?
They do like 8,000, if I'm correct. 8,000 a month.
Oh, a month?
When you say how many items,
it must be-
Maybe more. I
Like,
think
how many-
8,000. I think they do a lot. They do a lot.
Yeah, how many medications? Like, so imagine that, and someone's like screaming at asthma pumps, like, yeah. No, like, but do you know what I mean? It's like, and the thing is, asthma is such a common thing as well. Or there's like some medications that it's so common. A lot of people in the UK, like, they're polypharmacy. It's not even just one condition nowadays. It's like so many different ones. So it's like there's like maybe 10 patients are on this medication. So it's like we have to order more. Like, just give us a day, just one day.
Give us time. I feel bad like when they come with the prescription, we don't have it because we don't keep it in stock. Like, it might be like for a rare condition or something, and we have to order it in, and they're like, "Why don't you have it?"
Can't they travel out though?
And it's like they can, but we also need to like claim NHS money and stuff and get paid and stuff.
And I feel like people
it's kind of like
the
a
tip, guys. If you don't have it, go elsewhere and get what you need to get.
And people tend to be quite loyal to their pharmacies. Like, they go to that one pharmacy. They don't really
which I
branch
love. That's
out.
what I love about community. I don't have any experience in community, but I do love that rapport that you build with patients. Like, you know, that you see every day. My friends always telling me stories of just like the random, like, you know,
They're
especially the old people.
They'll come in, they'll buy us biscuits.
Seriously?
Yeah.
To be honest,
appreciate
Leah,
that.
after shouting pharmacist here, the amount of snacks and stuff she gets at work is a joke.
Yeah.
Guys, but she even brings some home for me because it's a joke.
Yeah.
They bring you biscuits.
Biscuits,
Yeah.
they'll
After
bring
all the
us
shouting.
everything.
After the show.
And like we get a lot of apologies. So if they've like been rowdy, they'll feel bad. They'll really apologize. So it's nice.
Which is good,
It's
yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
I think as well, you just have to explain to patients and stuff, because many people just want it there right then and then, but it's like a process. Like I said, there really is a process. Like, you can't just get a prescription, just give the medication out. Like,
If
you did,
and if you do
right, exactly.
wrong formulation, like so many different
Could be the
things.
wrong drug for what it is that they're trying to treat. It's just, you have to double check it.
Yeah, so
Okay, awesome. So we're going to move on to a slightly different section now. So I want you guys to tell us what else you do apart from pharmacy. So I'm actually a chef, guys. I'm a really good cook. So I cook on the side. So tell us, what are your interests? What else do you guys like to do outside of work?
Who wants to go first?
Yeah, literally. The thing, I don't know, what do I do? I probably do things, you do things without even realising.
Yeah, so like, what are your hobbies, your interests?
Oh my god, I don't have enough. One, I'm interested in music.
Okay.
I like creative things. I don't do that much that's creative, but I like being around that kind of environment.
Got you, like creative people.
Yeah, I like that. Like, you know, it's nice, it's stimulating kind of thing.
Yeah.
What do I do myself? I don't know. I study a lot. That's what I do.
I mean, it's true, to be honest.
I study a lot. No, but it's not an excuse. I definitely need to do other things outside of pharmacy.
Yeah, because it kind of keeps you kind of sane as well, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
in your field of work,
yeah, exactly. So yeah, I'm not that interested, unfortunately.
Shakira?
I would say the same. I mean, I love food. Like, everyone that knows me, I'll eat a nice
She claps, I love food.
And yeah, I like nice food. It has to be done well. So I do like going out to eat back in before the pandemic. I like going out with my mates, going for a little party. But I feel like doing pharmacy, you feel bad. Like, you've got work to do, or you go to a party. So it's like
balance.
you have to
You can't play hard.
Yeah.
But I feel like I've been just studying really, but I do want to go back into just like traveling. Like, I do like
Yeah.
21st of June, isn't it? Oh,
21st of June. I've got an exam.
Everyone stay home.
My exam's like
I'm not gonna lie, I don't think I'll be
really.
out on the 21st of June. I think surely it's gonna look like Miami. Like, I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm scared.
I'm not scared. I'm ready to go out.
Very
I need it. I feel like that's probably one of the. I do miss concerts. That's definitely something that I love. Like, I love live music.
Concerts,
Like, that's like a hobby for me. I miss that so much. Like, I'll go to any show. I don't even need to know the artist. Like,
Is it?
yeah, I'll just go.
Really?
Like, yeah, it's just vibes.
That's lit.
For me, traveling. Can't wait to travel again.
Where have you been in like the past?
So last year nowhere, because it was a pandemic. But the year before, I went to Nigeria, Paris, been to America, Ireland. But like, I want to explore the UK more, because I feel like the UK has a lot to offer.
It does.
But
Hidden gems.
yeah,
There
but
are a lot of
like,
hidden
I don't
gems.
like know anywhere. Like, I always talk about, like, in Central, like, I use Google Maps.
Do you?
Because like there are places I don't know where I'm going.
Yeah.
Like,
In
everyone's
Central London?
yeah, like even like I use Google
I don't know
Maps.
much about that.
I don't know my way. Like, honestly, like I'll be like, oh, where do I need to go? Like, I know like the key place, like the Apple Store. Like, that's like my place to go, and then like I navigate from there. Like, so I feel like London, not even London, the UK in general.
Yeah, there's loads
so I
of
want to like
places.
explore the UK first.
Go
And,
to
like,
York.
branch out.
York is nice.
Yeah.
York.
Yeah.
Wait.
York. Oh no, it's like like kind of near Leeds.
Okay.
Is it?
Up north. Yeah.
York.
Yeah.
Have you
York.
been there?
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah, it's lovely. It's
Are there
lovely.
people of colour there?
Not that many. Not that.
See, that is
the
the
less-
deal breaker for me.
Really?
It is, yeah.
Yeah, we just go for a day.
Yeah, no, true.
Just
You won't be
go
by
for a day
yourself
trip.
either.
Yeah.
Traveling's fun. Just experience the world in different cultures. I love that.
Yeah.
So how often did you actually travel?
Like once a year. But then that's like my thing. So it's like if I have one holiday a year, that's like my thing to work towards. To like work hard,
got you.
just
'Cause
get
you got
through
this to look
third year.
forward
So
to.
like this year,
Yeah.
hopefully
Yeah.
Thailand.
Ooh, yeah.
So it's like I need to work because then I can enjoy Thailand fully. Like imagine going to like a nice country and like
And it's
I've got to
nice.
reset.
You know,
Yeah,
after
no,
you've done
Do you know
your
what I mean? Like,
exams,
Same.
you just fly out.
I've got all these things to be worried about, but like
Yeah.
once you've cleared it all, it's like I can just enjoy this few days
And
of
just chill out,
paradise.
yeah. Fair enough. Okay, so a couple more questions, guys, and then we're gonna wind down. Baz, again, I'm gonna go with you. Where is it? How do your teammates or other healthcare professionals aid the running of your days? As you rely on your team members like heavily.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I mentioned before, like if I've got a query that I don't really know what to do, I've never experienced this before, maybe it's a drug that I've never experienced before, whatever, I've got lots of people that I can call on who are senior, they know they've had more experience. But then even on the ward, like you're working a lot, I feel like especially in hospital, you're working quite closely with nurses. Obviously with the doctors as well, but I feel like nurses, we do work quite closely because, you know, they're actually giving the drug. So they tend to have a lot of questions about how to give it, can I give it with this, like whatever. So I work quite closely with the nurses as well.
Nice.
So yeah, definitely.
That's really important for you.
Yeah, it's so important. You need to be able to get along with everybody.
Yeah.
And it makes your job so much easier when they like you. And I find the best way to get them to just really be on board is just try and do things efficiently and quickly.
Be excellent at what you do.
Yeah, like everything in hospital is just like urgent. Everything's urgent, even though it's not always urgent, but everything's just like, I need it now. Like, so the more efficient you work, the more they're just like, yes, okay, we can rely on you. Like,
Yeah, because you get the job done.
yeah, exactly, get the job
Love
done.
that.
Yeah.
Love that. Shakira, you look like you've got some stories to tell us.
I mean, I would say like a lot of people did put me off community, like because community pre-reg, the pay isn't it, like you get paid like minimum wage or like maybe like 22k, whereas people in hospital will be like 24, 25, 30, so that kind of puts you off. Then being on your feet 24s, which is the same in hospital, but it's you have
You can sit
nowhere to
down.
sit in community. And most of the pharmacists, they take 0 to 30-minute break, and it's like you're doing 8:30 to 6:30 and 30-minute break. How can you function?
I mean, Shakira, you sound like you don't like pre-reg.
No, I love it.
Nothing positive.
No, okay, let me say.
Tell us some positives, yeah, please.
So that's the bad stuff. But what I was gonna say is, it's really nice. The people I work with, like, it's just all women, so that was a plus. All of us, like, we're professional and friendly at the same time.
Yeah.
We all have each other's back.
Are they like any people like your age as well, or close to you?
Yeah, so we have like students. We got pharmacy students there. Got medical students. Got like 3 students. We have a counter staff who like everyone will come to our pharmacy just to speak to her. Pharmacist is nice. We've got ACT and she deals with like
ACT?
so it's like a technician that can check as well. So it's really good for the pharmacist because if they're busy, they can check off the medicine and give it to a patient.
Right.
So, but they would have to do their training as well. So then we have like normal technicians. They're all like they've done biomed. They want to go into pharmacy. So, like we all motivate each other. We all like keep knowledge up to date. I would say for me, I love community. I love the patients, even though they can be rowdy and crazy, but it keeps you on your toes. I definitely want to stay in community for a bit, and I used to want to do hospital pharmacy, but when I went there, I just felt like it was a bit too overwhelming for me. I just felt like I'd rather go there when I'm a bit more specialized, so I can do a bit more.
So your team actually really helps your
work. So
your
they always
work
push
environment.
like we'll like, for example, like test out drug classes or amlodipine. What's it used for?
Say that again.
Amlodipine. So it's a blood pressure drug. So we'll like randomly quiz each other.
That's like the most simple drug name to be honest.
Amlodipine.
Amlodipine.
There's some weird drug names.
Amlodipine.
And I love hearing
Sounds
my
like
patients say them.
Amlodolphin.
Yeah, literally. But I always know what they're saying.
Amlodipine.
You really have to do something like you just have to try and figure out what they're saying when they say
you
some of
have
these drug
to
names.
really.
Like, oh yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, like they said, glycocade, glycoside. Yeah.
That one. Yeah, actually.
Doxycycline.
Yeah.
But it's
I'm
nice.
laughing. I don't know what to talk about.
I'm just laughing. I'm still learning the names.
No, you'll get
Like,
it.
some of them
Yeah.
are so complicated.
Yeah, I know.
And the thing's like all people say it differently. So it's like 3 people can say the same job but all differently.
Just say how it
Yeah.
comes
So
to
it's
it
like
and
which
roll
one's
with
right,
it.
which one's wrong.
There's no right or wrong.
There's
Well, there is a little bit, but as long as what I say,
I
it's
think
a
you
while.
understand. Okay, so and you as well, my love. You're a student. How important, or do you guys actually support each other? Like, do you have like a group chat when it's getting a bit difficult? Like, how do you guys kind of
I think
help each other? And things are online now as well, so it must be even
so
worse.
obviously like you have farm sock. Every school's farm sock is different. And mine is
What's pharmacist?
like pharmacy society. So
Okay.
the pharmacy society. Some are really like helpful. They do different events. Like our one, they're okay. But I know some schools where they don't even have one, or like their one is just non-active. So I think that can help if you have a good pharmacy society who are like always putting stuff on, like helping with well-being or like tips on how to revise and stuff like that. I think in my school we do get support from lecturers. I think some lecturers are more support than others. And I feel like when you can build a good relationship with your lecturer or with anyone in school, it's the best.
Yeah.
Because like once you're like pals with them, they just
They
check
give you,
in.
they give you insight.
They give you
out.
insight. They just
Yeah.
they just help.
Yeah.
Regarding students, I think in my school, so we have like quite a good network because me and a few friends started an organisation, so like that helps with us. But I know some people, they don't really have a lot of support. So I feel like
Sorry, go ahead.
you just have to like search for it, which isn't great sometimes, especially when it's like you like so like I think you said you went to Sunderland, right? Like especially if you've got to go to school where maybe there's not a lot of black people, and if you come from an area where there's a lot of black people, just go from that change.
Yeah.
Like it might be a bit hard to click with some people, so then you have to like actively search, but you have to make the most out of it, I guess.
Yeah. Do you think it's important that you actually make friends? So basically, I done marketing, and I was in like an international class, so there was mostly Chinese people, white people, and then there was 2 black people, and then I ended up being the only black person in the class because the person dropped out. No one wanted to make any friends. Like no one was talking to anyone. So do you think it's important when you're a student in pharmacy to kind of like support each other?
You need support. It's a tough degree, and there's always exams.
You
It's
feel like
always
you can't
something
do
going
it by yourself.
No,
you need friends.
If you can.
If you can,
Yeah, trust, big thumbs up.
but
Like,
then
you're sick.
they'll probably become like very stoic pharmacists, like just
They'll be good at the
I
people
stick to
help
all the
no one.
guidelines, like I don't shift. Oh, I can't make adjustments. Like they'll be so like by the rules, which is good, but sometimes you have to like learn how to adapt. Be flexible. I think with pharmacy, it's definitely good to have at least one person you know, or like in the healthcare field,
industry,
because like some people that don't do healthcare degrees, they just don't understand.
At all.
Like, oh no, just come out. Like, listen, exam tomorrow. I don't really understand. This is pass fail.
Especially like with my uni, so I have like 3 other girls: Rachel, Loladay, Mami. Shout out! So basically, when we first met, so like. It's kind of bad, but it's like the whites will be with the whites, the blacks kind of go to the blacks, the Asians with Asians. But we all had like a group chat, so like everyone was added in. We'd usually send resources, and it's good because then people can help you. But sometimes, like as the years go by, like some people can become competitive. And it's like they don't want to.
I think that's so weird.
They don't want to
in
help.
pharmacy because it's like when you qualify,
Well,
like, me qualifying doesn't affect you qualifying.
We're all gonna have a
same
spot
place.
somewhere,
And
so
there's always gonna
It's
be
very
jobs.
strange. It's
So
very, very weird.
it's
yeah. So what I would say is definitely support others. Like there's so many people that won't say anything, and I can be like that sometimes when I'm just to myself. But like people that are willing to help, like it's nice. It's nice because I like to learn with others, and some people like to learn by themselves.
You need it. You need to know, give each other support, insight. Like, oh yeah, someone sent me this paper, like this old practice paper. Here you go. Like you just got to share the resources.
So did people do that with you when you were studying?
Yeah.
Wow.
And you got to pass it on as well.
Yeah, and people look at things differently. Like there's that thing about like you know when you have a cup and it's half full of water, is it half full, half empty? Like everyone thinks of stuff differently. So when it's like a very like challenging concept or like I don't know, even when it comes to like learning drugs, for example, someone can have like the perfect technique of how they learn it, and you're kind of like I learn as I go along.
Yeah.
But then if you need that their way, and when I say perfect, it's like very efficient, like and it's easy to implement. Like imagine they're loving it. They've learned all the drugs, and you're struggling to just learn like the simple ones.
Yeah.
But you don't know anyone. Like if you knew that person, then they could help you with that. So yeah, but I think competitiveness it is there. Like it's so weird. But I think being black, like from early, it's like you have to be the best. You have to be the best. Well, in my house anyway. So it's like if you're not the best, like you need to beat the person ahead of you. But then there's certain things in life like you qualifying doesn't affect anyone else.
So together.
Question. So how do you break that? Because that's like a cultural behaviour.
Yeah.
It's still great. Be excellent.
Yeah.
That's something that I think is important. Be excellent at what you do. But how do you kind of break that cultural stuff? Like, be the best, be the best, be the best. What if you actually don't want to be doing what you're doing, kind of thing?
Yeah. That is a tough question.
You guys go away and think about it.
I have to, because that's a tough question. I don't know. I think you have to kind of be okay with sometimes being a bit mediocre or just sometimes.
But knowing you've tried your best.
That's the most important thing. That's the most important because that feeling of needing to be your best at all times, it's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure, and you need to be, because sometimes you then feel like I can't make any mistakes, I can't do anything wrong, like, but it's
and
okay
then you'll
to
end up actually stumbling and doing things.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay,
exactly.
Awesome. Okay, guys. Well, I've learned a lot. So we're gonna go around. I want you guys to give maybe students or whoever's watching, people that might aspire or inspire to actually be in you guys' shoes. So, Baz, can you give somebody a couple of tips or a tip on what to do to get into pharmacy or what to expect, what they should do?
Okay. Tips on how to get in. Try and get experience. Like actually try and get experience, whether it's in the GP, whether it's in hospital, anywhere. Just try and get some experience. See if you like it. See what you like. Because obviously, if you're actually going to pursue it, you need to know that you want to do it. Yeah. So just try it, even if it's just for like a day. Just try it out. Always try it out first. And what was the other question?
Just any tips. Any tips you want to give them?
That's my biggest one. Just get experience. Like the most valuable thing that's been for me is all the experience that I've had, like whether it's summer placements or the placements at uni, just anything. Like that's been the most valuable because nothing then really surprised me as I qualified, because I'd seen most of it. Like I always knew I wanted to do hospital, so it was quite good for me. I just made sure I got hospital and that. So yeah, just get experience.
Lovely.
I would say for like looking into unis, like look into where it is. If you feel like you're fitting there, like I went Portsmouth, it was good, but I didn't really have the best time. But check out the location. I would say if you're going to do pharmacy, just do it. You need to have the mindset of just finishing it, because you can go from doing 4 years to do 5, and I've been in that position. But just have that drive to complete and just be done, because it's really rewarding afterwards. Just being a pharmacist. Very rewarding. Yeah, love that. So yeah.
And to any students or anyone who might want to actually study pharmacy or medicine,
I'll say definitely look into the area of the university, like Shakira said, because
is the area a big deal, you think?
Yeah. It just I think with wherever you go, just because it shapes your university experience.
Yeah, literally.
So imagine you don't really like city life, like now you want to a city-based university and you prefer campus-based, like it can just be off-putting, and then that can discourage you to like want to do well. It's weird how the mind works, you know. Well. So it's just look into that. Regarding when to study pharmacy, get experience, read into it, know what pharmacy is. That's the best. That would be the best thing to do, because if you don't actually know what you're doing, you'll get there, maybe do a year and you'll be like, wow, this is not what I expected. And now you're like, oh, I don't know what I want to do, and it's like, which is fine, but if you just be sure that you want to do it. And as a student, work hard, play later. Like, that is my motto. Just because, like, in that academic year, however long terms, I think my terms are like 8 to 10 weeks. Just work hard in those times, do the exam, and move on. It's quite short. It's quite fast paced, and like uni is really 2 terms and exams. So it's just like work hard in that short period and then enjoy later, because the enjoyment will come. The money is coming.
Look how you're smiling, boy.
She's like, I can see the figures.
Yeah.
So just see those figures and honestly, because when you're actually doing it, like it's draining. So,
I would say for like when you're doing your exams, if you're like in pre-reg or in uni, don't leave it to last minute, because it depends on who you are, but I usually left it to last minute and it just added on to stress, and it's like I'll still do well, but imagine if I had started on time, I could have done even better. So I would say just try and complete your work from like second term, then you can just chill.
One more thing I'd say as well, don't beat yourself up. If you don't do well in one thing, just look at ways to improve. Because I think when you're on certain like pharmacy, healthcare things, like you always want to just get the top grades. It's like you can't achieve that every single time, but learn from it, and so that you can develop more.
Yeah, just keep learning. And I would also say pharmacy is a lot broader than just what we're even talking about, community hospital. Like there's so many different roles that pharmacists can do, and there's so many things that you can specialise in that you probably don't even know like exist. So
Can you give me a few examples? Sorry, because I don't know.
Yeah, so like you can work in mental health.
So you can be a pharmacy in mental health.
Yeah, like a mental health pharmacist, like not just, you can specialise. There's lots of different roles in industry. You can go into sales and marketing if you really wanted to.
Is it?
Yeah, like you can. Like you can do that as a pharmacist like if you wanted to. Yeah, army.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there's so many different areas you can. I think I also read like a pharmacist that works like with the police force, with like sort of like drug, like illegal substances and things like that.
Yeah.
You can work with people who are addicted to drugs. Like there's just so many different things that you could do. So
I love that. Okay, awesome. So guys, so we're gonna finish now. So if you guys want to just tell the viewers your social media handles, if they want to get in touch with you, how can they find you? But before we do that, Osariemen hasn't mentioned her initiative yet. I'm not sure why.
Yeah,
She just hasn't. So I'm gonna give you the floor to tell everybody exactly what it is you do, how it came about, where they can follow you, what your social media handles are.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I didn't tend to mention it.
Why?
I don't know.
It's an amazing thing that you're doing. Like literally.
And I was following them before I even knew.
Literally. See?
Yeah, so me and a few friends, we started. Actually, I started.
The founder.
Whenever I say a few friends, they always tell me like, "No, you started it. You came."
Yeah.
Yes, I founded the organisation called the Black Pharmacist Initiative, and it's just basically like to help Black pharmacy students have a community. Because I think even like growing up, regardless of pharmacy, like we always tend to like lack that community aspect, togetherness. And it's like, imagine me, I'm doing so well, and then it's like my brother or sister, they're not doing that great, and they're just struggling in silence. So we just started it to help pharmacy students across the country. So obviously started in midwives School of Pharmacy, but it's like branched out, which is really nice.
I love that.
So we just hold different events. We do like maths because like maths in pharmacy is like you gotta know your maths.
That's why I could never do it.
Even though it's basic maths, you have to still know it.
Yeah.
Because you never know, you could just end up doing some calculation one day they didn't expect. So maths.
So you have tutors that will go out and help people.
Yeah, so
maths.
Because I'm third year, so a lot of third years and fourth years that in the organisation help, and then we've got like pre-regs and some pharmacists as well, so they help as well, and then we just hold different events and just support people.
I love that. So how can they get in contact? You have a website? You have
so our Instagram is at the Black Pharmacist Initiative, and our Twitter is at the Black Farm. And
cool. So if they DM the Twitter or the Instagram, will they get through to you or to the person in your team?
They'll get through to the social media person, and then there's like a chat that we put all the main information in, so they get added to that, and then that's how we like communicate with people and the newsletter and stuff like that.
I love that. So if you're a student or you need any help in this kind of industry, shout out to the Black Pharmacist Initiative.
Yeah.
Awesome. Shakira, where can they find you? What are your social media handles?
My social media is Empress Shat.
I love it.
Instagram, Twitter. I don't really post much, so.
But if you have any questions,
if you have any questions, DM me like any advice or anything about community, about pre-reg. Just shout me, like I'm here, willing to help, because I like to help people, especially that I would have liked to be helped, which I did, but I would love to help you.
Love that. And Baz, where can people find you?
So people can find me on Baz the Pharmacist, but I also run a pharmacy page with a friend of mine called My Pharma Live, where we basically post like...
Wait, that's yours?
Yeah.
I love that.
Where we just basically post like different roles that pharmacists do, just so that people can actually see what pharmacists do, more than just, standing behind a counter and handing out medicines. So yeah, either My Pharma Live or Baz the Pharmacist on Instagram.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Also, guys, they're part of the House of Medics. So if you do want to get in touch with any of them, shout out to us. Go into our Instagram or whatever website, and you can get in contact with them as well. So our website is houseofmedics.org. Our Instagram is We Are House of Medics. YouTube is the same thing. LinkedIn is the same thing. We was actually on Clubhouse the other day on the Friday as well. So again, if you're a pharmacist or you are interested in medicine, DM us on Twitter and we'll let you know when we're going to be on Clubhouse as well. We're also on Twitter and TikTok at We Are House of Medics. So guys, thank you guys so much. It was amazing.
Thank you for having us.
We'll see you guys in a couple of weeks.
Bye.
Bye.